I was around someone that had a virus and I end up coming home and now I can't walk. I'm so dizzy that I'm bedridden. And every time I get up, I feel like the whole world is spinning. And at this point, when you're bedridden or you're dealing with these issues, it can feel all consuming. It can feel never ending and it really gets to you. So I'm feeling, that I might have to end my career.
Dani Reed's childhood in farm country in Ontario was marked by her parents' divorce, frequent moves, trauma from coming out to her family, and many health issues such as dental problems, depression, allergies, and sleep problems. She overcame all her obstacles and established a successful career in Canada in sales. And then, in 2010, she changed careers to study at the National Academy of Osteopathy in Toronto. She opened her highly successful osteopathy office in Toronto, 2014. In 2023, she met and married Savannah Shankle, but her life, health, and career hit a crisis point in September 2025.
Finally, the mouth is on a key to health in all we do. When we heal the mouth, the body finds its harmony anew.
My name is Dani. I am 39 years old and I'm an alternative healthcare practitioner. I had grown up in a small Southwestern city, about 30,000, surrounded by cornfields, agriculture, and I had dealt with bad allergies since I was a teenager. I dealt with strep throat actually since I was a kid, and going into my 20s, those things followed me. Um, in my early 20s, I started getting these rashes that were showing up on my face and feeling just wiped out with allergies. Like I was having to take Claritin or Reactin. As I got older, more symptoms started tacking on. So I started getting really bad stomach distension. And I'm talking about looking like I'm like 9 months pregnant, trying everything, trying every diet fad, still on the Claritin, then trying bee pollen, anything that's out there that could help with that. And I would see some relief sometimes, but it would never go away. And depending on my stress levels in my life, it could just flare up in an instant and go right back to where it was at. As I go through school and, get into my early 30s, I realized that I'm having these serious issues. I'm getting these skin issues that keep showing up. I go to a specialist. And again, throughout my whole teens and 20s, I'm either told to just go on to Claritin, go on to antidepressants, or go on to birth control. And nothing changes as I progress, right? I'm going into my 40s and nothing has changed this entire time. So I end up going to the skin specialist. They're saying that I have psoriasis. I get this cream. It doesn't really help too much. It definitely does not help with the root cause at all. But I'm still having these crazy reactions that are showing up, and they're showing up so bad in the mornings and then dimming down that one, I have to make doctor's appointments in the mornings to show them how bad it really is. Otherwise I look crazy because with the histamine levels just drop in the afternoon. And then I'm having to even change my work schedule. So I don't want my clients coming in, I look like a freaking monster in the morning. So I'm end up having to shift my day to later times just so that can die down. I end up going away. I was around someone that had a virus and I end up coming home and now I can't walk. I'm so dizzy that I'm bedridden. And every time I get up, I feel like the whole world is spinning. And at this point, when you're bedridden or you're dealing with these issues, it can feel all consuming. It can feel never ending and it really gets to you. So I'm feeling, that I might have to end my career. And I'm looking at what am I going to do? Like, where am I going to go? I'm just going to blow through all my savings. Like, I can't physically work. So I'm having a few bouts of that. I'm calling the doctors. I'm trying to get in to talk to specialists. I'm thinking I need an iron infusion. And they're telling me, okay, no, I think you're having POTS. I think you're having these other issues. It's heart issues. I'm put on these beta blockers. I am now so reliant on these beta blockers. I'm so scared to leave my home without these. right? In case I get dizzy or I pass out. I always have an exit plan in mind. That's no way to be living your life. But I felt like, and again, I was told that's really the only option, right? We just have to keep trying to mask these symptoms or deal with these symptoms, and nothing is getting to the root cause. So I'm getting these crazy flare-ups, and I'm again, like, I'm a sole proprietor. I'm losing out on all that income. I'm just wiped out. Thank God I had a meeting to go meet with Dr. Goodman. And, she had asked, I haven't seen you for a while. And that day, and she's a pretty safe person to talk to, but that day I just shared with her, hey, I've been having these really serious health issues going on. And she was the one person that thought, hey, that sounds pretty serious. We should check that out. And she ended up putting me on that rinse right away. That was the first time in I'm almost 40 years old, that I felt heard at an appointment, that I felt truly heard by someone. And how simple was it that she gets me on this rinse? And that day too, I'll note, I was taking beta blockers twice a day. I was taking Pepcid AC twice a day, one at morning, one at night. I was taking a Claritin daily at that point, and I was taking the maximum of Tums in a day because I was so nauseous. I felt like I couldn't leave my home without feeling dizzy or feeling nauseous, and I felt like I had to have that as almost a security blanket just to get through the day. So imagine my surprise when I start taking this rinse, and by the next day, I was off all of my medication, all of it. And I'm like, I don't even want to get too excited because it's been a couple months, but I haven't had to take anything. And it really has. I mean, this is the first time in my life, in my entire adult life, that I've gone over a month, let alone several months, with no reaction, no facial reaction. So it's just absolutely incredible. I can't thank Dr. Goodman enough. I wish there were more practitioners like her. And I really wish that there was more education around HOCL. And I just think it simply just wiped out a lot of the bad bacteria. And with these health issues, with things like POTS, with things like these histamine issues like mast cell, we have a bucket of tolerance, right? So you eat certain foods with histamine in them. Maybe you go outside and it's, there's tons of pollen out there, you're reacting to it, your bucket's really full, and it starts overloading. And that's when you see and feel these crazy debilitating symptoms. I think by taking the HOCL, it's just wiping my bucket out. It's keeping it so low that it's not overflowing anymore, if that makes sense.